2 weeks after a stunning win over Becky Lynch earned her the NXT Women's Championship, Lyra Valkyria made her return on Tuesday night. Her first appearance since the victory of her career, headlined a broadcast that also featured Braun v Von Wagner, the start of the Iron Survivor qualifying matches, an Heritage Cup defence for Noam Dar, and after the announcement of the NXT TV deal. Lots going on today, but we started things off with Dar versus Tozawa for the Heritage Cup. After scaring Dar into accepting the challenge last week, Tozawa continued his training as the newest member of the Alpha Academy by battling the leader of the metaphor. The opening 3-minute round ended without any falls despite a last second suplex. Dar rendered the trend with a quick cheap pinfall. With a handful of tights take a 1-0 lead. He added a few cheat slots, but not enough to force the DQ from the ref. Tozawa tied it up with an ankle lock at the close of the fourth round, creating a sense of urgency for the remainder of the bout, which was fought under sudden death rules. With the clock ticking down, Lash Legend pulled him out of the way, and Tozawa crashed to the mat below during a sense of intent. Dar retained moments later. Without the outside interference, it felt like a rush time match. Dar and Tozawa could have torn the house down, as this was a perfectly acceptable opener that highlighted the two factions and gave the Hiki Seals a win. A good Alpha Academy looks like a big deal, with Maxine Dupree continuing to grow as a performer with every TV outing. Good inoffensive stuff to start the show, and Jack gets a 7 out of 10 from me. In her first address as NXT Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria did not have a chance to say much thanks to interruption from Jali. A tense and improving confrontation gave way to challenge from the babyfaces to the interloper. This was a short and sweet segment that actually made sense. Lee has made it a point to target Becky Lynch, as witnessed on Monday Night Raw. What better way to provide future targets to the man than by setting his sights on friends and Page today. Just weeks after Lynch appeared to have passed the torch to NXT to her country, and Lee has an opportunity to dethrone her and ruin the dream of the new face of the division. The date of the match is still yet to be revealed, possibly for Deadline, who knows, but yeah. This was good stuff, very much looking forward to this feud. I like what they're doing with Jali at the moment too. Before it's time for the Iron Survivor qualifying match, Henley versus Stratton. A week after suffering a bruising assault at the hands of Stratton, Henley sought to extinguish any chance the former women's champion had at competing in the Iron Survivor Challenge. A good competitive contest between familiar face saw Stratton get back to winning ways and cash in her tickets on one of the marquee matches in NXT. Given how bright she shined during her feud with Lynch, it made sense to continue the push and highlight a young competitor who is quickly developing to one of the premier competitors in the division. With that said, Henley has always been a wrestler who's better in her place in the show, and this would suggest break away from Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen and let her shine and develop her own personality, and she will shine. Right now she's a victim of a loaded division amid a slew of promising young stars. But yeah, let's get a 6 out of 10 for me. A fun match, and for me the right winner. And yeah, kind of intrigued to see where this feud still develops if it does go on. Before it's time for Von Wagner versus Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker's violent attack on Wagner led to the second generation star hospitalised this past September. After steamrolling the big man's friend, Mr. Stone, Breakker found himself on the receiving end of a vengeful Wagner, who was looking to return the favour last week. Tuesday's bout was a physical battle between two big men, but it lacked intensity to take it to the next level. Given the emotion and hatred between the two, it never felt like the grand culmination of a feud. Breakker won, scoring a major pinfall victory following a spear, but Wagner got a measure of revenge via a table spot. This part made sense. The rest of the match was a bit too normal for what the story demanded, I would say. But it's still fun. I like what they're doing with Stone and Wagner. It gets 7 out of 10 from me. I thought a continued story. I don't know if this is the ending or not. We'll have to wait and see. But I think, while I did feel that way, in a way, I still like that they're keeping the story going. I think it was good stuff. 7 out of 10. Before it's time for Kalani Jordan and Roxanne Perez versus Lola Vice and Electra Lopez. 1 week after winning the breakout tournament, Vice partnered with Lopez to battle the former women's champion Roxanne Perez and runner-up Kalani Jordan. The match just up backstage. This was a solid contest that could have benefited from a little amount of time to allow the competitors to slow things down a bit, and it concluded with Jordan scoring a win and avenging her loss last week. Ariana Grace immediately appeared after the win to take the spotlight from the victors, but Carmen Petrovic fastened her on the round. Vice and Jordan are going to be exciting stars to watch moving forward. They are raw athletes who show flashes of greatness between the race, and the latter being a little more developed than her counterpart at this current time, but the future's bright, especially if they get more meaningful reps on TV. So yeah, not a bad introduction, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I don't know, it just kind of felt like a bit hastily set up. That's all I'm going to say about it though, because the reaction wasn't bad. Before it's time for Otis versus Drew Gulak. And after sending a message to the Metaphor earlier in the night, Alpha Academy returns to the ring as Otis battled Drew in singles action. This was another fun, inoffensive bit of action between a guy in Gulak who does everything well and one of the most entertaining big men in the country. The crowd ate it up and gave Alpha Academy another platform to shine on, with Otis getting a big win. And Jet gets 7 out of 10 from me. This was a pretty dominant win from Otis as well. Really made him look good. Drew Gulak did a good job of selling it. Yeah, building up Otis. I like it. Good stuff. We then got Tyler Bate versus Dijak. On the same night, we learnt that the first competitor to advance the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match at Deadline, Bate and Dijak battled to become the first men. An increasingly physical battle saw each man test each other's toughness, but it was Dijak who delivered the feast your eyes to secure the victory. And this was one of those matches that could have gone either way, but given the fact that Bate has only started to tease the idea that he feels as if the industry is passing by while he's leaning on past accomplishments, this was not the time to wrap that up abruptly. Besides, Dijak has worked a long time and has earned this opportunity. So yeah, I'm not mad about it too. I think it fits in the story. A really fun match as well. And yeah, Dijak, looking forward to seeing what he can do in the ring. So it gets 7 out of 10 from me. The dissension between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes intensified in the main segment of the show as the former took exception to the former NXT champion not returning in favour of having his back for so long. Williams also admitted not having seen who attacked him, and Hayes' reaction was the one to suggest it may have been him until Lexis King interrupted, stirring things up, leading to Williams abruptly hitting Hayes. An embrace between the babyfaces ended the show, but it was clear that there was distrust and frustration between them while King watched on. King did tease his involvement in a week ago, hinting to Mackenzie Mitchell that he'd done something bad. After this week's show, it's clear he was the perpetrator and is setting up for a major match against maybe Hayes or Williams at Deadline. It's a big start for him, but yeah, really looking forward to seeing what he can do in that stage. Even with King's involvement, there are still issues between Hayes and Williams that may end up in a match, so fans should keep an eye on moving forward. And yeah, Hayes' look at the end was interesting too. And overall, NXT this week gets 7 out of 10 for me. I thought this was a really good show. Some really good match action, and as well as that, the storytelling in the main event was really, really solid stuff as well. So yeah, I thought this was a brilliant episode of NXT, I have to say. Gets 7 out of 10 from me. And yeah, really like what NXT are doing at the moment. And yeah, the build to Deadline is getting increasingly interesting. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks so much for watching. Next episode for Daily Wrestling News and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.